This is Dr. Dean, and thank you for joining me. How to power up profits using past performance. First, I want to go over the trade industry in general, how it's virtually all sales and unregulated and pretty much untrustworthy, and how to power up profits using selected attributes from past performance, which will include looking for buys and sells and how they can teach us what to do. Same thing for time of day and day of the week. How to harness pullbacks for superior entries and profit progression for superior targets. I'll give you some conclusions and next steps. So let's get started. In terms of the industry itself, it's fast. 1,854, virtually one new room a day, some 300 a year. And they are all sales and are unregulated. So how many rooms are there? 1,854, right. So what does 1,854 rooms look like? Let's just round up to 1,900. Well, here's 100 rooms, 10 by 10. Let me shrink them down and down and down. There they are, 100 rooms, and I'll put them up here. And then here's 2, 3, 4, 500 rooms. Agreed? Here's 1,000, 1,500, 1,900 trade rooms. That's what you have to choose from versus you. And by the way, they know you're out there and they want your money. Yes. So of these 1,854 rooms, 38 have a track record. Some kind of track record. May not be great, but at least some kind of track record, which means 98% do not. You ask for a track record, you'll get various kinds of denial. The most common is it's against the law. That's untrue, and I have a video that says otherwise. Other responses can be moronic and stupid, and they're so funny I did a video on them as well. The room with the most excuses for not having a track record, the oil trading group, and the room with those vicious response for asking for a track record, Dow Daddy through Alex Wasilewski's group. So what do you call a dance studio where there's no dancing? You could call it an empty room. What do you call a music school where there is no music? You could call it a quiet room. What do you call a trade room where there is no trading? A sales room. 98% of the rooms out there are sales rooms. So let's ask ourselves this question. What do these rooms know, these sales rooms know that we should know? Well, first of all, the following. When it comes to money, trading in real time is difficult. It takes talent and integrity. Selling is easy. It doesn't require talent and integrity. There's no risk. There's no cost. There's no inventory. And I know I'm right because 98% of the rooms sell. Only 2% of the rooms trade. Number 2. They presume a certain amount of fundamental ignorance. For example, this idea that track records are against the law or regulations don't allow it. They tell you it's against confidentiality. None of that's true. They will distort, misform, and misrepresent. Lastly, while they may tell you there's a money-back guarantee, if you read the fine conditions, there's not. You will never get your money back. So these are all permanent purchases. And lastly, these sales rooms know that when trades are typed out or narrated or shown as dots and circles or even from dead people, they are not really trades. They are alerts, and they don't have a profit loss. How many rooms do these kinds of alerts? Almost all of them. I have videos on quite a few of them right here. So when we use past performance itself from the very few rooms that have it, here's what we're going to look at. Stratifying for type of trade and day of the week. Let me show you what this looks like. Here we go. Here's 100 oil trades, 10 by 10. 100 trades, each of 3 contracts a trade, and if you take the rows and add them down, you can see the 160 goes down to minus 130 and so on. Add across, so the total gross profit is $970 on 100 trades, or $9.70 gross profit per trade. Subtracting out $15, it's a losing system. So what have you learned from these 100 trades? Well, the answer could be to avoid oil trades. Let's analyze the data a little bit differently. Let's go to the right. And here's the numbers you get here. 920, 990, and 640 look pretty good, don't you agree? And they occur at certain times of the week. Monday sells, Thursday sells, Friday sells. Looking better. So $970. And remember, we were at minus 130, but now if we take just those 30 trades there, the ones that added up to 920, 990, and so on, we get $25.50, which grosses out at $85 per trade, and net at $70. Not bad. So we can ask the simple question, well, that's nice for this 100 trades, but how about the next 100? Was it random, or will it happen again? And by the way, these 100 trades occurred over 3 months. Here's the next 100 trades, trades 101 to 200. Again, 3 contracts a trade. Adding to the right, you see the values highlighted in green. So the total for the all 100 trades together is $370 gross profit, which translates to minus $11.30 net profit. Adding up the $11.30, $5.10, and so on, we get $2,900 and change, $98 gross profit, $83 net profit. Bravo! Finally, the next 100 trades, 201 to 300, $830 gross profit minus $6.70 net profit per trade versus 65. Not bad. So what the simple question is, do you want to lose $2,300 on 300 trades or make nearly $8,000 on 90? Certainly be no choice. And you notice this one I just highlighted, the 590 up there? It says that at the end of this almost 10 months, a new opportunity is popping up. Sells on Tuesday. Bravo! Even more opportunity. Track and use pullbacks. What does that mean? It looks like this. Let's go to Trade for Greatness. This is data on 20 gold trades, 3 contracts a trade. The average profit losses have been stratified by the 5 days of the week and by longs and shorts, what we just did with oil. You can see that we're asking a fundamental question here. What are we going to do on the 21st trade? Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to look for shorts on Tuesday and Friday, and longs on Wednesday and Friday. Okay, and I'm going to skip everything else. However, you notice on Tuesday morning, 11 tick average pullback, which means that on trades that win, the average heat is 11 ticks. So if you added your third contract at a 5-tick pullback, you'd add an extra $50 to your average profit loss, which will bump it up to 208. Now, since it's 11 ticks, you have a good chance of getting filled. Same thing here for the shorts. Goes to 298, long 187 to 237, and 296 to 346. No more contracts, no more risk. Simply understand that the trades develop a certain amount of heat. Heat can be capitalized on to produce a superior entry. So remember, a 5-tick pullback on gold will either always make you $50 more on target or save you $50 on a stop out. It can do nothing but that. Profit progression, additional profitability. What does that look like? Welcome to my room in True North, which I moderate. Here's a typical robot trade. In at 2,700 and a quarter, out at 2703 even. Burning question. Could we have made more money? Let's find out. Here's the trade, and we're going to ask this question. How about if at 2703 we set up a bracket exit, which is 4 ticks greater for all 3 contracts, or 4 ticks less? In other words, we're going to look for a target up here at 2704, and our new stop is 2702. Turns out this trade went up and paid us. So instead of making $412 on 3 contracts, we made $562. So I tracked the profit progression as a binary system. Yes, it made it, or 0, it did not. Here's what it looks like in my data sheet. This is Monday sells and Monday longs, 50 trades each. You can see that 67% of the time, the trades went on to hit a 4-tick greater target, and 33% of the time, they did not, which means I net 33%. Times 50 trades, times $150. Remember, this is ES, so it's $12.50 a tick. Gives me an extra $2,400 divided over the trades. $49 bumps this 108 to 157. I'll take that. Same thing for the longs, except now 78% of the time the target is hit. The same math. I get an extra $84 per trade. For doing what? Nothing. Simply watching the robot get out, standing still, and setting my target 4 ticks greater away, and my stop 4 ticks behind. So the industry is vast, it's growing, and it's not in your best interest. If you're going to take past performance and power it up to help you guide you in your profits, pay attention to the longs versus sells. The days of the week, they're not created equal. Remember, we went from minus 2,300 to almost 8,000. Pay attention to heat, the amount of pullback on successful trades, not stop outs. You can add an extra $50 per the extra contract very easily. And lastly, profit progression. After they get out, whoever they are, you ask the question, can it continue in a greater profit? Yes or no? We showed the targets here. So where does that leave us? Well, the industry is very large. I have a comprehensive directory. They usually on price for $25. You can get it for $10. In terms of past performance, we talked about each one of these 4 attributes. I also use optimal targets and stops, and I'll show you how to calculate them. How to profile versus bracket trades versus trailing stop, and who makes more money. And circadian analysis, which is the difference between trade profits and strategies before 9:30 and after 9:30. And of course, how it applies to the various titans that I follow. This is all wrapped up and called Train You on the Titan Phalanx. Normal price is $349. The webinar price is $249. I have been trading in Veritas for a very long time. Over the last 7 months, I've taken these many trades and gross averaged this amount if I had taken each trade at 3 contracts a trade. I'm also in Trade for Greatness every day. This is the gross profit over the last 140 trades, which is about 7 months for both rooms. So this is Dr. Dean. I'm the founder of Global Trade Titans, rooms that trade truthfully, transparently, and profitably. I'm the editor of Enlightened Futures Trading. The journal gives you no-nonsense articles. I have a decent YouTube channel where this video is going to be posted, and I am the founder and head moderator of True North Trading. Thanks for joining. Bye-bye.